and the games are going to get started. So, with that being said, anyone that is tuning in at the moment to watch this gameplay, commentary, all this other jazz, give you a little bit of background. We're in Rockville, Maryland at Tactical Airsoft Arena. My name is Keegan from CQB Rush. This is the tournament that we put on this past weekend on September 6th, 5th, 6th. I
Fifth.
don't even 5th, yes, because that's
It's on
Saturday and today's
December 5th.
Tuesday.
Yes.
I am being joined by Jacob from Tru Starz Airsoft. Jacob, say hello.
That's me. I'm Jacob. What's that?
And then I also have a good buddy Marcus from the one and only infamous and famous all at once Life of Marcus YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz. Marcus, say what up.
What's going on? Am I really that famous? I don't think I'm that famous.
You have like 4,500 more followers than I do.
Okay, but that don't make me famous.
Oh, you famous,
Marcus,
famous.
Now you sound like
oh,
me
you big boy.
when I had 100K on TikTok and people were recognizing me.
I'm not that famous. I got 3. Wait, my TikTok actually got more than my Instagram, which I'm kind of mad about.
I mean, it's easier to blow up on that, to be honest.
It is.
So Marcus and Jacob both got to play in the tournament.
Yes.
But initial thoughts when you let's run through the day for you, right? So when you got to the field and started like prepping yourself to get into the tournament, what was going through your mind through those couple of moments?
I'll go first real quick, since for me, it was being a part of the team with you and you hosting it. We had to really get in there and set it up. So for me, it was more of my mindset at the beginning of the day, at least, was let's get this set up, let's get it looking nice, and let's make it look good for everybody coming in, because we want them to be impressed and we want them to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, as well as I want our team to play well and have a good time. So that's where my mind was. I don't know about everyone else, but I was just really wanting to make it an overall fun experience for those playing. And so I really was wanting to work with you and our team and getting it set up really, really quickly. As you can see, like here on the stream, a lot of the players looking at it, going over the angles that we set up, and just kind of getting used to where they're going to be playing and shooting.
Yeah, this is actually Marcus's team in that top right corner,
Yeah,
trying to strategize.
We was definitely talking strats. Actually, it took us about like like maybe 30 seconds just to figure out what we was gonna call things.
Yeah, that's I'm actually really glad that you brought that up, because watching from the outside, you start to realize how unprepared a lot of people are, and I mean, other than probably you guys and my team, no one was really calling out specific things. I mean, SINY got into a bit of a flow to the second half of the tournament, and so did Animosity. But for the beginning of that tournament, you could definitely tell there's a lot of nerves on the field. People weren't necessarily comfortable playing where they were, and really trying to figure out how shit was going to work.
We had a lot of new teams, though, that haven't played it, the game type at all before,
For sure.
let alone just got thrown together as well.
And speaking of, I mean, Marcus's team definitely looks like they've been thrown together, but that's not the case. This is Marcus's second tournament with his team.
But not the same people.
It's more or less the same. I mean, you still had Jay and Batman.
You're right.
So
the only person I had to really sub out was
and TJ, yeah.
Tay. Yeah. Tay, I replaced Tay with Avery.
And Avery played in the last tournament. Boy, look, you're trying to sell this as something else, and I ain't buying, all right?
It's not my... I don't know if it's my official team. I don't know. I mean, like, Avery's still kind of like... I wouldn't say on the fence, but I'm pretty sure he wants to set up his own team.
Yeah.
So
I could see that from Avery. Just for those watching, everybody just kind of walked off the field because Keegan, I believe you were giving the briefing at this point.
Yep.
Or the rules, breakdown of the rules.
Yeah, so at this point, did I go over the rules? Yeah,
I think
probably
so,
did.
Everybody's off the field, but But which is funny because I missed that briefing and I have no idea where I was because I wasn't there for the rules. And
All right.
but
Marcus, I experienced the same thing of like blacking out for some part of the some part of the night. Did that happen to you at all?
What do you mean by blacking out?
like
Not
for
like
just like
not
the
like oh
portion of the
damn
night
I'm
you
fucking
completely
wasted.
forget.
Yeah, just like forgot a complete portion of the entire tournament.
No, I don't think so. I
So
wasn't around you that much, though, to be honest.
no, not at all. I wasn't around anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see. I got that fucking clipboard like it's my liver or my fucking lung. Like I wasn't letting go of
That was
that bitch.
official. That was official.
Yeah. So I know one of the complaints with the tournament was that things are moving really fast. That's also way on me. But outside of that, um, how was your overall um, view on the tournament? How things were run? How you think you did in the tournament? Let's start with Marcus
All right.
first.
All right. So I don't want to come off as like complaining at
No,
all.
you
But
do you.
first thing first, I
Constructive
walked
criticism
in.
is appreciated always.
Yeah, but I walked in TAA first time being there, and I'm walking in there with 5 guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, we might get a spot, we might not really get a spot. I'm kind of used to being in places where I don't really have anywhere to sit, but that was like one of my main concerns. Is like, whoa, we got 5 dudes, nowhere really to sit. Now we gotta like kind of figure out where we're gonna sit at and like stage at.
Yeah.
Cause like that's the main part. It's like, okay, where am I going to put my stuff? Guns over here, clothes over here that needs to be on me, vests over there. Like, you feel me? Like, you got a lot of stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
you got load your mags.
Mm-hmm.
So you got mags on the floor. You got people walking right by it. It was kind of a headache, and
Yeah.
most annoying part for me.
Yeah. The Rockville location is small is an understatement. The field itself is only 4,000 square feet, maybe. For most fields around the U.S., they're closer to like I don't know 7, 8 to 10,000 square feet. So it's a big difference, and the lobby is only a couple hundred square feet at that. So it's definitely hard to get used to. This is where I started, so I'm way used to like fucking bullying someone to get a lower portion of the rack or something. But yeah, I wish we had a little bit more space. I was trying to talk with Chris so we could use part of the actual field. Look at me. No one fucking cares that you're talking. Um, sorry.
Oh, that's when you made that little Instagram clip. I
Yeah.
know.
Uh, um, but yeah, we couldn't find more space. But
but
regardless,
but yeah. So with that being said, we did kind of make it work where everybody kind of knew, all right, you're gonna be over there, you're gonna be over there,
hmm
all right, because we had guys too that didn't mind standing. Me personally, in between rounds, I like to actually take the load off my feet. You
yeah,
feel me? I'm a big guy. Um, but going in there, the place was tiny. I'm just
hmm
gonna say that right now. And like when we was going over what we was going to call things, and I was kind of walking around. I was like, okay, maybe I can push to, because we called the, what is it called? Like right in front of the X, we call those boxes
The mini blocks. We call them mini blocks.
mini blacks. That's too much to
blocks.
say.
Block. Mini block.
Blocks.
Yeah.
We didn't. Well,
Mini
we didn't
block.
say that. We didn't say that when we were yelling it out.
I was gonna
I
say
forget
I
what
heard
we
you guys
actually.
calling it home at some point.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
yeah. So we took some cues from the paintball scene where the starting point is home because it's where you start, and just calling that out. But before we try to get too much further in these placements, I know that the first match is about to start. Marcus, you're actually up in this first match going against Animosity. It's one of the Rockville teams. Um, I
So 2 Maryland teams going at it.
Yeah, and I will say when I made this schedule, totally randomized it. I looked at it and I was like, "Fuck!" The first round and the last round are going to be really fucking spicy. I knew that just from I know the guys on Animosity. They're all pretty good players, and I knew that you guys weren't gonna come and fuck around at all, but yeah, I was excited to say the least.
Hey, don't say that because I started with my line disconnected.
Oh no!
Listen, my flashlight, I forgot how to turn it on, and then my sight battery was dead. So I was just free. I was just free aiming.
Marcus. Let me stop you right there. It's airsoft, and you're inside. You don't need your sight.
Yes.
No, I tell you what.
You're correct.
Out of everyone at the field,
unless your flashlight doesn't work.
Yes, my flashlight didn't work.
All right, so we actually got the first
started.
game started. We have Animosity over here on the left side, and Life of Marcus on the right. That is Lewis and Darian going down from the X and the L block. Now, what's crazy, and I talked to my team about this, is there wasn't a whole lot of lateral movement when you're going on this field. There was a lot of people who got complacent with where they are, and you'll see with Marcus's team, we got one person in the snake on the top right corner, one at the mini block, and then you have one hiding behind that L block.
Yeah, which you got Avery who just moved. Avery just moved into X.
Yeah, we and that I believe that's Jay that just got taken out on the snake side. Avery's got an interesting angle on the rest of the field because you can see that back left corner from that X, I believe. And
yes, you can.
It's I don't think I could play X. I'll tell you that much. I would.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
definitely more comfortable in the back.
Right about where Batman is, which you can see on the screen still at the mini block on the right side of the screen.
So I'm trying to see.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm trying to see my team is kind of struggling just to like really get angles on people because it was like really tight.
And
you got Josh who just moved up into the X from Animosity.
Yeah, and Avery can't see him just yet, but I think he actually picked off Batman, and then he just took Avery, leaving that flag right by the X. That's a sweep. Josh taking it up for the win. One game for Animosity.
Following.
All right, we're going to get side switched, get everything reset.
I wish it showed like our team actually strategizing. Cause we took that loss hard.
I'm not surprised.
We was like, all right, we gotta figure something out.
Yeah, because you and TJ, I'm not gonna lie, like I can. Oh, look at me climbing up the ladder. But you got you two are definitely powerhouse leaders of that team. Like
for sure.
Don't fuck around. And your guys respond to it.
Yeah, I don't know if your guys' team would have actually functioned if you weren't there. If for you guys that didn't know, I have the scorecards in front of me. You guys have got 3 of the 5 players out on Animosity in that first round. If you didn't know, there's still 2 left.
I didn't get one. I'm gonna be honest right now. I looked at the footage. I didn't kill one person. I was too busy worried about my gear.
All right, looks like the second match is about to start of this set.
Yeah, I was about to say it should be starting within the next couple seconds.
Life of Marcus on the left, Animosity on the right.
Also pay attention to how my team plays. We kept on running the same routes over and over again.
A lot of teams do that. I think that's a downfall personally from playing.
So one of the only teams to really dash up to that Snake 50 on that top left in the middle was Marcus's team, and Jay would get that on the frequent, and he actually ends up getting an advantage on Lewis at center X and taking him down before he can move the flag. Now it looks like we're running on 3 on
Marcus just
3.
Went down.
Yeah, Marcus went down and back right. Christian going down at center. Josh is pushing up to take out Batman. Gets down as well. Batman going for the sweep.
Expect that L wall. They do not expect that L wall at all.
Mm-mm.
Now I don't know. Yeah, it looks like Batman probably traded there, and Jay comes up to finish it out. I think Tay was also in that back left corner. So we're tied at 1-1.
I'm looking at my gun. I'm like, I'm sick of this.
Yeah, Marcus, just out of curiosity, how many mags do you carry on? Because I noticed you run a full plate carrier and everything.
All right, so I run 3 120 ARP mags, and then the rest are like 60 rounds. So I run about total 6, 8, 10 mags.
Jesus, that's a lot.
You also
of mags.
don't care about those mags at all. You and TJ, man, y'all flip those fuckers hard.
They just go across the field.
They don't break.
And that's definitely a bonus. At least you're getting quality shit.
Hey.
All right, so we're going into game 3 here. Marcus, or Life of Marcus taking that first game. Animosity taking the second. That is definitely not a false start. I believe that's when I didn't pull the horn all the way.
Yes, your horn, like it went.
Yeah, it's like an old man farting.
Yeah.
So we're getting a reset here. All right, so we have the official breakout. 5-on-5 still with about the same lineup on either side, with 2 in the back, 3 in the front. Got Lewis moving up, taking center flag. And it looks like that it's pretty even. Batman going down at the mini block. Lewis going down from the L. Got Darian quickly replacing. Jay going out from the snake. That would have been a kill on Josh, most likely. So we are now 3-on-2, I believe. I don't know if that L Black player is still there or not.
It looks like it because it looks like he's battling with Darian. So,
tell you what, Darian's a really young guy. He's only probably 15, and
oh wow,
I know that this is definitely his first tournament. But he's a speedy little guy. He's very quick, got a good trigger finger. I'm surprised he's not playing with his pocket rocket and he took his high cap instead. But it looks like he goes down there in the X. That's probably from Avery and the L.
Yep, who's still in the L block.
Marcus.
You can see his beanie. Nope, you can see his beanie.
That was definitely
Avery.
me.
Oh, was it?
No, I'm the only one that's running the white flashlight.
Yeah, that's true.
You probably could have peeked him around the corner. You got Tay running up the side, running into the snake 50 and taking Josh. Maybe not.
I don't know how that didn't go down.
Avery running into the L block and taking Josh. That would have left Marcus alive. At least I want to say he's the only one on the field, and he just doesn't know it yet.
Yeah, because Christian had to have gone down pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus realized it, takes it for game 3 and winning that match.
2-1.
I tell you what, after watching Avery and TJ run into something, I started to think maybe this wasn't a good idea.
The scariest part about that, the scariest part about TJ, as I was actually sitting up on that wall when he ran into it, and I was like, oh boy, I thought I was gonna fall because he hit it hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't fucking break his kneecap. Honestly.
We're up next, TSA, so that's why I just came down off the ladder.
Yeah, we got TSA versus MWA. MWA is a new team on the scene, mixture of Rockville and Virginia players. Definitely the edgy boys.
Yeah, that's for sure. They love to guerrilla and have fun with it, and they are definitely love them to death because I play with them at Manassas all the time. But they are definitely some trash talkers for sure.
I tell you what, going into this turn, if I say tell you what one more freaking time.
Sorry, Dad.
I definitely was expecting a lot from MWA going into this, just from playing with them, like you had said, Jacob. Yeah. I definitely thought they would have taken a little bit more. The most surprising player the entire tournament, that man on the right side, Pete Daniels. The man grew some massive cojones as the tournament went on.
I love playing with this man.
Pete's a fun dude.
He's a ball energy.
He does not care.
Not at all.
He's so aggressive. I love him.
You just saw me scurry off the field because we were trying to, I think, scramble and get Carlos onto the field. Yes, we played a man down this game, but MWA, if I remember correctly, also played a man down. So it was 4-on-4.
I don't know if Johnny made it onto the field for this first match. So yeah, 4-on-4. Unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Yes.
Oh man.
But I would rather it be fair personally as a player, 4v4 rather than 5v4.
Yeah. I don't think anyone wants to really play a man down, but if that's the cards you're dealt, it's the cards you're dealt. You got to get your people on the field.
Yep.
All right, so it looks like The game's actually about to start. 3, 2, 1. Boop. Just kidding. We're getting pretty close. I got the horn in my hand.
Like, wait, how do you?
There we go.
All right, so there is an immediate down on MWA side who's on the right with Pete, and there is also the back right player Ethan going down for TSA. We got Jacob in the snake, Bert in center behind the mini block, Thomas moving up, trying to get into the X, but just can't quite get there. Vinny almost destroying the block. Jacob missing the flag.
Yeah, I couldn't see it. I reached for it and I said screw it.
Yeah, one of the things I knew going into this too was these half blocks aren't actually half blocks. That's kind of a sloppy transition, top left.
Yeah.
And I think Vinny just went for a sweep, and then Jacob, you went. Bert's being a little bit more cautious, and it looks like you got all 5. 2 left on the TSA side, taking the win. Yeah.
Now we're joined by Carlos.
Finally. So in this next match, I'm pretty sure it's in this one. Pete actually goes out of bounds, and we didn't quite catch it. And Bert's just yelling at the top of his lungs. But the thought I had before, with these half blocks, I know Marcus said it's not big people friendly, but this is about as big people friendly you gonna get on a quote unquote official field. A lot of these blocks are actually a lot smaller. Like those snakes are actually probably 3/4 of that height, as they are there. I mean, me and Jacob, we're not big guys people.
Running things.
So.
Yeah, we're not very tall.
All right, so it looks like we're about to get into the second game. TSA's leading with 1 up. And there you see Pete in that top left corner. He's actually out of bounds. He just doesn't know it yet. And Aiden, unfortunately, can't quite see him behind the wall. It looks like it's still pretty even with 5-on-5. Not any players from MWA moving up to that front side, actually. Thomas going down from MWA. Jacob going into center X, taking that flag. It's a good transition there.
This is going to be a fun kill coming up. I remember this game. Hold on. You guys are getting in for a little treat here on this one. It ends up being 3-on-1 is actually what I think it is right now.
Oh my god.
Carlos's gun is down.
Down, yeah.
Yes.
And he's just got a flashlight in his hand. He's trying to distract the back right side.
Yes, which he actually does in it. Yeah, they don't know that at all, but
yeah, they don't.
He's just flicking it, changing angles.
Yeah, if you don't have a gun, you can try to do what you can. What they don't know is it's 2-on-1 right now.
I just army crawled up to that block because I could see where his flashlight was. So actually, in this moment, when I was at the side of the X, he could see me if I was up just a little high. So if I was low enough, he couldn't see me over that mini block because Greg is fairly tall. And so when Carlos was distracting him, I noticed his light had panned over that way, and I could see it go across the block because he kept it on. So I went low, army crawled, hoping that he wouldn't see me, and just made that play, and it worked.
Yeah. I tell you what, I did it again. You know what? I'm just going to stop. I'm going to stop for the rest of the night, and we're going to call it quits. Thank you for joining us today.
No, but we took the series right there, 2-1 or 2-0. So
yeah, 2-0.
Best of 3.
What
next is SINY and
2 blue. At least that's what they told me. And then after the fact, they said no, it's supposed to be blue squared. Sorry, you got it wrong the first time around. It is what it is. The SINY guys are shooters in New York. They are actually from New York, the state. I was about to say New York City, but I don't think they actually are. And they drove 5 or 6 hours
from Long Island. I think is what they told me. Long Island, I think is where they're from.
Yeah, and it's about a 6.5-7 hour drive. And they got in 2:30 in the morning this Saturday, and then woke up at 9 or 10 to get ready and go for a full day of public play and then the tournament. I don't know how they were still surviving at this point, but they were, and yeah, that fucking props to them. All right, it looks like the game's about to get started. There it goes.
Got Brian Fitzgerald, or AKA Fitzy Goes Pew, down on the L block on the left side of your screen, joined by QS Airsoft Joe right there. They're both on that same L block.
So
I don't know the Rockville players on their team though.
neither do I. It's Isaac and Alex. I just met them before the tournament started, but this is definitely. Oh, you see Joe running up, and Ryan taking that center flag. But
SINY still has one in the snake, one on the center wall.
And I don't know if Ryan actually knows that. He's about to find
does.
out though. Their snake player is actually really good.
Yes.
They have a very solid snake player, and I think he's one of the older guys on the team as well. It's a fairly young team as a whole. They're losing their mini block guy.
I think that's actually Stevie Ventura is the one who was on the middle block.
Marcus, I think they are all family. I could be very wrong. SINY guys, if you watch this, I apologize if you're not and you're just really close friends. But it definitely seems that way.
Yeah.
Pat went with the sweep on the right, aka Local Legends Airsoft. He took that sweep on the right with Ryan going back around left and getting that win, going up 1-0.
Yeah, the SINY guys, I know this is at least their second tournament. They were with us in New Jersey when we had a practice tournament up there at Strikeforce South, which unfortunately is not open anymore. And they didn't do bad, but they didn't do great. I think it was really a big learning point for them. I think this tournament definitely turned out better. They had more exchanges with teams than they did in New Jersey. So,
but between the two, you could definitely see the improvement from there to here.
For sure. And since they are so young, they have a lot of time to really, bring up their game. It looks like we're getting started into game 2. SINY on our left, 2 blue on our right, taking a hard crash course into that snake going down.
When you do that on that angle, that messes you up bad, because when you hit that snake wall like that, that mini block on the right side can see you when you peek out. It creates an angle that really sucks for the snake player.
Looks like we got their back left player for 2 blue going down. And there goes Joe, QS Airsoft, also going down, which makes it at least 4-on-2. These lanes weren't very large going straight down. You got a sweep coming up.
I don't know that he hit him.
I think he got picked off. Yeah, he got
picked off, and you got this snake player now going at least 3-on-2, maybe 3-on-1. And I don't think this mini brick guy, he knows where he's at. But the snake player is definitely looking at him. That is for sure. And if he's not too careful, here it comes with the pick off on him. And it looks like 2 blue's going to take this win.
I think that snake player took out that back wall player from the snake.
Yeah, he probably did. He was standing up very confidently, so I wouldn't be surprised. Now, the 2 blue team, if you guys didn't know, actually you probably don't know, why would you? They are actually just kind of thrown together. The 3 Virginia players know each other, and the 2 Rockville players know each other. But the Rockville and Virginia players, they've never met before. So I'm sure their chemistry was way off and didn't quite know how to communicate. But
they still pulled out the win.
They certainly did, and they took that game 2-0.
But I think that goes to speak for skill and airsoft as a whole. I mean, when you have players who played well, not only together, but for a while, and just have an overall decent amount of skill, you can come together with a pickup team like that and succeed. It's because in Speedsoft, regardless of the chemistry, which is a really big plus, and communications, if you know how to take angles and corners, you can succeed even if you're not clicking with your team.
For sure. Next coming up, we have a actual rivalry match going on. It's Animosity versus TSA, the 2 Rockville teams at this event, and it was
my
spicy
heart's
going
already
into it.
Talking about it.
It's a good. I know it's bittersweet for both myself and Jacob, but yeah, this was a pretty good match. I enjoyed watching it. both teams have some very heavy hitters when it comes to shooting, rate of fire, and overall skill. And I was very excited to see this happening. And it's so early in the night, too. It's only in the second round. You can see me actually talking to our youngest player on TSA, Ethan, making sure that he's talking because homeboy is kind of quiet. Sorry, Ethan, I'm throwing you under the bus right now. But
But he's young.
He's young. He's getting there. He's got to get out of his shell. But this is a real interesting match. It actually got very heated at one point as well.
The heat comes from Vinny on our team is actually really good friends with Lewis on Animosity. So that in and of itself is Vinny wants to beat Lewis. Like Lewis got him into airsoft, so Vinny wants to take him out. And Carlos and Lewis too also have a pretty good friendship from the years.
And it didn't help that Lewis was talking all the smack before. It was very, if you've ever played or talked to Lewis and you know him like this, he's not going to be super in your face like you fucking suck, but he'll hit you with some slight jabs and it kind of hurts. Lewis,
yeah, he's like,
stop.
He literally comes up and goes, "I apologize for anything that's about to happen," and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
What?
He did that to Bert, and Bert's like, "Why you gotta do that to me, man? Like we're homies. I work here and I play with you all the time. Like why you gotta?"
It looks like Vinny is actually just getting. That was within the 10-second mark.
Yeah, we were missing Bert.
And it looks like we have 2 in the front, 2 in the back for TSA going down a man from the get because Bert isn't there, and you have all 5. Darian going down in the mini block. Lewis is going very aggressive on the L side, and it looks like Ethan goes down, and he is looking at Vinny, hits Vinny
just
turns
went
for
down.
Jacob, and a trade on Carlos in the back right corner. Lewis continues to play.
We can play that back because that was pretty nice.
So what you guys actually don't know here, and I end up getting down not this match, but the second match, is there was actually a no-hit call during this game on Lewis, that player that did the sweep. There was a trade in between him and Carlos in the back right corner from TSA, and they ended up losing that because of the no-hit call. So we end up going into game 2 with a technicality and TSA having a win.
And we get Bert back. Bert also joins us. He makes it back for this game.
Yeah, so we have a full 5-on-5. Yeah, knowing the two teams and like I said, it being so heated, there was bound to be some adrenaline going through these bodies, and it looks like the second game is about to get started. You can see that cameraman in the top right corner trying to get a good angle. He's got a 360 cam. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. All right, and we started. We have at least snake mirrors, we have mini block mirrors, and L block mirrors. Actually, the whole field is with 2 in the back, 3 in the front. Lewis going down early. And it's kind of hard to see if anyone knows where anyone is. I know that the communication is there, we just don't have the audio. But there's not...
I know Josh is in the snake. I know that because I'm going up against him.
The angles on this field, I mean, you got to play them pretty fucking tight. And the lanes aren't super huge in the first place. So it's all about suppressive fire, making sure they can't get out, and trying to blind them a little bit. That's a good bump by TSA moving up into the center X. Looks like the back right side for TSA goes down along with the L block going down. So we have 3-on-3, I think, because both of the corners are up. 2-on-3 with back left going down.
No, it's 1-on-3. It's 1-on-3. It's me
Bert
on
goes
3.
down.
Carlos is down.
Got that snake 50, which is a unique piece since you can stand up. It's not really a snake. But from what I remember, Jacob, correct me if I'm wrong, the angles on that aren't super great. You're actually in a kind of a dangerous spot from that L, correct?
Yes and no. So from there where I am, you can see a lot when you stand, but you're really dangerous. I made a poor choice there, if we're being honest, to run back chasing him down.
Yeah, what would have been the better play, and we'll come back, but the better play would have been to just kind of stay and just rail as many shots as you could into that sweeping player, but Animosity ends up getting that win with 2 bodies left. You can see me getting down, and a lot of confusion's about to happen as the next 2 teams try to come onto the field. But we are going to head into Game 3 because of that no-hit call in the first game of this this match, and TSA is going to probably scramble to get back onto the field.
Yeah, we were so confused. We were like, wait, what? We're going into Game 3? Okay.
Yeah, one of the nice things about this being a practice is I kind of can make those mistakes. It should have happened in that match, point blank period. But here we are going into Game 3.
Yeah, but I should have made a. I'm coming to fix the flag, but I should have made a better choice of like staying there, like you said, and trying to rail many shots into him. But he had the angle on me, as I missed a couple of the shots. So if I didn't hunt him down, he would just flank me and taken me out anyway. So
I mean, did he know that you was there or just no?
no, he didn't. He actually completely missed when he pulled his flank. But the minute I started shooting, he did. So he would have had the advantage on me by getting to that back block.
All right, let's see as we get into Game 3 here. And a decent breakout. It looks like everybody's up.
Wow, I got into the snake early.
We might have one down on Animosity side, considering there's only 2 in the front and not 3. We have the same lineup with 2 in the back, 3 in the front for the TSA side. And I haven't seen any bodies drop off the field just yet. So people have got to be holding their lanes relatively well. You got Jacob moving into Snake 50, Lewis and Darian moving up to the next bunker in X and the L block. And Jacob looks like he's trying to get that peek, and he ends up getting the kill on Darian in center X.
How did he sense that he was shooting? Like, wait, what?
So I know right there in that kill, Jacob was kind of pinching his backpack and then got him a couple times in the ribs. You really laid it into him, but
yeah, I did.
You kind of have to. And it looks like there's a little bit of a firefight in between
the L blocks.
The L blocks, which is Lewis and Vinny. It's some friendly rivalry, but well worth it. And Jacob going down. Jacob, you got taken out by the back left side.
Wall. Yep.
And we have what should be at least 4 on 3. Make that 4 on 2 with Vinny and Carlos on the TSA side. It looks like Josh was trying to find his groove. He can't quite get it down. He's in an awkward spot. Maybe Carlos and from TSA.
I don't think he knew I was down either. Josh didn't know I was down either.
And this is why communication's so key. If you don't really call out what your kill is, then your team's left kind of blind.
Now, yep.
Especially
in that snake side.
Looks like Lewis went in for the sweep and gets taken out. And either that or Josh just has no idea that the rest of the team is taken down. And that seems to be the case as Lewis is walking off the field and Josh takes it up for the victory. 1-2 Animosity. And we got one more card here in round 2. Coming up next is Life of Marcus versus 2 Blue. And we'll see how this goes.
The cool thing about 2 Blue is it's all staff members from the Manassas field except for the 2 Rockville guys. So they do get playing time together. So the chemistry between those 3 is actually there and pretty well. But trying to build it on the fly with the other 2, that was probably a unique challenge in and of itself.
It's strange, kind of strange. The 2 Rockville player guys are actually brothers, so I know they have the chemistry.
That makes the difference. Like playing with your brother,
it really does.
I play with mine quite often on just like normal recreational days, and for me, we've grown up playing together for years. So when he's on the other side of the field, I just know that I don't have to worry about going that way. Granted, most of the time they're respawn styled games, so we're both coming back in and out. But I know if he's over there, I don't got to sweat it. Or like when we're together, if one of us dies, the other guy that just killed me is definitely going down because we got each other's back type of deal.
So Marcus, me and Jacob talk pretty frequently nowadays, and I hear his brother in the background all the time talking shit about how bad we are. And he's like, yo, I could do so much better. This boy hasn't played Airsoft in I don't know how long. And every time he gets invited, the answer is always no. Blows me. Marcus, how are you feeling going into this?
I'm trying to remember. I think I actually got I changed my batteries. I knew exactly what I needed to do. So I actually felt a lot better. I think I picked off probably 2 people off the start, maybe.
Okay. Well, looks like
I think it's this. If it's this game, I'm
we
trying to
about to
remember this
find
game. It's
out.
been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute.
All right, so breakout looks relatively even. Again, it seems to be the reoccurring theme with 2 in the back, 3 in the front. Snake sides are definitely getting some action in there, and it looks like the L blocks are trying to do the same. Um, as you'll see, oh, there goes Snake going down for the 2 blue side.
I think Jalen took him out. Or was
Um,
that TJ? See, I wish this camera was a lot wider because I can't really see
Oh,
yeah,
what's going
Avery
on.
just bum rushed
Avery.
and got hit.
So it's at least 1-for-1 on these 2 teams. A
Oh,
good
that nice shot.
bump from the mini block into the X, but he's peeking out a little far. His ass is hanging out, and he's about to get clapped. He
I just
actually
did.
does, and then
Yeah,
Ryan
I
goes
think
down
that
as
was me.
well. There goes
I
TJ
don't.
running down, not running into anything, thankfully.
He
But
learned.
they take the win. The 3 men still up.
That's the only thing I wish about being able to watch this game, kind of like Marcus was saying, is being able to see those back walls just a
Yeah.
little.
Because I can't really say what I'm doing at that moment because I just
Mhm.
don't know. I'm like, I don't remember. I changed up so much with me and TJ, like playing right wall versus left wall. I'm talking about like the blocks back there.
Yeah.
It's like me and him was switching out pretty frequently. So I'm like, I don't remember. But I know I probably killed X because that was my lane. Because me and TJ always rotated of watching X.
What's kind of nice, and you can kind of get the vibe of it too with your team, Marcus, is you guys do have some chemistry there. And there goes the classic move from Jay into Snake 50, which is a super aggressive mood or a move in the beginning. You got 1 going down from the 2 blue side at least, right from the get. Looks like the player Avery on the L side making a run for it. There's 2, 3. Another sweep down, 4, 5 down on 2 blue side. Avery getting a 3-man sweep on that, which
Avery,
is great. 2-0.
I want to say this right now. Avery was kind of a wild card, right? So
Yeah.
on our team, we kind of knew like, all right, let's play smart. Let's not just rush out there just because we feel like we can get those kills because anything can happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's one of the things that we talked about as a team. Like, all right, making sure we push smart. Don't just push, just to push.
But if you know Avery, that's Avery's play style, man. Like even and I imagine you play with him at replay a lot.
Yeah. But
so Avery's
that's one of the things that I like about Avery. He sees a chance and he goes for it.
Yeah.
Coming up in this next match is MWA and SINY. Not quite sure who's on which side at the moment. I don't even know if I came down.
Off the field.
Nope, you're up there. Your legs are still up there. Look.
Oh yeah, I'm still there. Got my dangling feet. I'm surprised I'm not swinging them at this point. Tell you what, man, when you're up there, it's comfy. It's comfy. Swinging them legs just feels right. It just feels right.
Yeah, I know. I joined you up there a couple of times. I can vouch for that. It is sketchy, but once you're up there, you're up there.
Yeah, I mean it's sketchy until you're out there, and it's definitely more solid. So we got SINY on the right side and MWA on the left. Breakout seems to be at least 2 in the back or 3 in the back, 2 in the front, and then on the opposite. Wow, words are really hard. 2 in the back, 3 in the front for SINY. We got 1 going down in the Snake for MWA.
My guy Pete, poor Pete. I like Pete.
Tell you the SINY guys, they're a lot smaller than any of the other teams. They had a much easier time. Thomas running up, he gets at least 1 of them, maybe two from that back left corner. Sebastian moving up, he's trying to get into that center X, gets taken out by the Snake 50.
He should have stayed in that Snake 50. If that's where the inexperience kind of plays in.
Yeah, bumping just a little too early. One thing people don't probably take into consideration is when they do move into those blocks and they hit them, other people realize that. It looks like we got another 1 or 2 players getting taken down from the NWA side. SINY Snake moving in, getting the flag, and sweeping around the right to see if anyone is left. And there is not. SINY taking the win in the first match with 2 men up. The the MWA guys, they probably just don't have, like you said, that experience. And once you run into those walls, other people notice, and they're like, "All right, well, I know where you are now." If he had waited just a little bit longer, he might have been able to sneak by in order to get that center axe.
Yeah, and I'm pretty good friends with Sebastian from working Wednesdays and Fridays on occasion when he comes in, and I get to play with him from time to time on weekends when we play on Sundays. Um, so with that said, like I took it upon myself to try and coach him a little bit and just give him a little bit of advice when I could. Whether he took it or not, he did thank me for it later on after the tournament. But it's definitely something to get used to. But whether you care or not, that's a different thing too. Is like if you're not really like it's not that big a deal, we're just gonna play, then it is what it is. But if you're like looking to get into it and you take it seriously, it can be beneficial having somebody on the outside looking in telling you what you could do to help.
For sure. I definitely think that's one thing I like about the community that's being grown around the CQB Rush events is people really coming together and sharing that information. So we had an interesting breakout on both sides, actually. SINY decided to go with 3 and 2, 3 in the back, 2 in the front. And MWA actually stacked on that mini brick with 2 people. It looks like there's only 1 left, and 4 on SINY's side just going in for the last kill and picking up the win. Yeah, at one point I had came over to these SINY guys and talked to them because they were really quiet, and I'm trying to let them know, like, you gotta fucking speak up. You gotta let your guys know where they're at, where you're taking these kills, because if you don't, your team's blind. And sometimes that's really overlooked with these teams is communication.
Yeah, it's a big part of like speedball in general, whether it's paintball, airsoft, whatever kind of game of this sort, like when it's this fast paced. I mean, you look at basketball and soccer, which are back and forth like this, and they're fast paced. Communication is big.
So the SINY guy's talking to me because in the first round when they played against 2 Blue, he actually had a no hit call. After talking to Aiden about it, he got hit in the knee and he has a knee pad on, so he couldn't really feel it. It's one of those things, I'll take the words from the guys down in Georgia. It's like if you're running something big and you can't hear that pop or you can't feel it, and you get hit with a no call, that's really on you. You got to pick and choose what kind of platform you're going to run on. But with the guys that are in this tournament, a lot of us have already experienced that pop. Marcus, I know you're probably super sensitive to your kit since you run that big plate carrier and tank and helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, like the gear that I run it constantly, and I know where I can feel it. I can kind of sense it. Like what is that on me that just got hit?
Kind of like someone
normally
poking you, but
yeah. Sometimes when I get hit like ricochet or something like that, I can kind of sense the difference.
Yeah.
But it's airsoft. You don't really know until I don't know, until you know, really.
Unless you're hitting like one of those sweet spots when you're not wearing the gear, and like, oh yeah,
Oh, the muffin top, dude. And me and Marcus, I'm sure we're in the same boat. When you got a little bit of extra on them love handles, that shit hurts. Can't do it. Or maybe it's just me.
I think I think as a player looking in, I grew up not playing in padding or anything.
Yeah.
And also frankly it didn't quite exist, like the arm pads and the knee pads and all the like speed style clothing for play didn't really exist when I came up in the airsoft. I grew up early in the airsoft community, and so for me it was you learned to take the pain the hard way or you layered up. And I think for me that's a big downside. I mean, I get it. It prevents people from being hurt. It saves your body from the welts. So I understand it. But I think it's a downside as far as airsoft with it being an honor sport, is it really kind of takes away.
Oh, for sure.
Some people feeling it or hearing it.
I know, especially for me getting into the sport, a lot of the stuff that I had done before this was contact sports, but nothing of the effect of like paintball or airsoft. So I definitely ran a plate carrier and a helmet in the beginning. I wear padding up to this day, but it wasn't until more recently where I could get onto the field and just be like, screw it, I got a t-shirt. I actually did that here at the end of the night. I just threw my arm pads on to save me some conversation with parents since I work with kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I got welts on my chest, and it's not too bad now. You get used to the pain for sure.
Yeah.
I know we're
No, you
taking
don't get used to it. I'm sorry.
Marcus. You're still new to it,
I
man. You've only been playing for
bro,
like close to a year now, right? Or just under?
yeah, a year and a half or something like that. But
Okay.
I personally, y'all might call me a bitch or what, but I personally hate getting shot.
Nah,
Like that's
Marcus,
one of
No,
the things that I
that is
hate.
one thing I will never do in airsoft is I will never call anyone a bitch for wearing what they choose to wear because like everybody's body is different sensitivity wise. Like you look at some like athletes are a perfect example. You look at some players who like they step wrong and their ankle breaks, but then like
or you look
you
at
have some
soccer
people.
players. I know they're acting, but man, please, people who live in the soccer community, stop fucking taking dives. It's so annoying. That's gonna be my
Yeah,
piece. I'm gonna get ridiculed for it, but it's okay. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna leave this on you guys. I need to use a bathroom.
you got it. Yeah, but Marcus, I will never call anyone anything like that. Um, but as Keegan was saying, like you are new to it. Me, I'm 24 years old, and I've been playing since I was 12, and
Damn.
I also, yeah, I've been playing for a long time. I mean, it was on and off. There were years when their fields weren't existent, so I didn't really get to play. But per se, I've been playing since I was 12. I started when I was 12.
Okay, because I'm 23 and I just started like when I turned 22 or something like that.
Nice,
21,
nice.
22. So like I'm fairly new to it, even though when I'm playing, normally it gets me like I would say like first game. All right, everything hurts the max amount.
Yeah,
And
it's
as
always
soon as
that
the
first
second
game.
game comes in, yeah, as soon as that second game rolls in, I'm like, all right, I get shot, whatever.
Yeah, it's it's
But
it's it's one of those. It's the anticipation number one, and then one, but also the adrenaline, like the anticipation of getting shot, knowing it's coming. You're like, I don't want it to happen. Then once it happens, and your adrenaline kicks in, and you're competing, you kind of just lose the fact of like you got hit. It's just more of like a realization at that point, rather than it is like a ow that hurt.
yeah,
At least for me. I mean, like I said, everyone is different, but
yep. And then I
so.
started wearing this like lacrosse like protector like right below
Mm-hmm.
my chest rig. I know y'all seen it. That's just protect my extra shots that actually goes to the stomach because those hurt the
Yeah,
most.
yeah, yeah. I can vouch for that. Um, Yeah, that was for me. Like I used to wear fingerless gloves for the longest time until I started getting hit in the fingernails from time to time. And I was like, yep, nope. I like my fingernails. I don't want them purple. So I started like wearing actual just gloves. I don't wear anything padded, but something to at least cover it and give it a layer
Yeah.
between. So it looks like we're about to go into the next game. I don't have the scorecard in front of me. So I believe it's
Neither.
Animosity versus MWA or Two Blue. No, it's Two Blue. So
All right.
it's the Virginia team versus Animosity, right?
Yes, two blue versus
Okay,
animosity. Two blue on the left, animosity on the right. Is this the first game?
correct. Yes,
All right,
we just got
lovely.
back from like a break where everybody was kind of talking.
That's what I
And
like to hear.
a part of me thinking like, oh yeah, we should do this live so people can like jump in here. But we talked about that already.
Yeah, live would have definitely been cool for sure, but recording over it's also not too bad either because it gives us that freedom in between to talk about what we want. But yeah, for sure, it'll definitely be cool to get it live, like and do live commentary during a live event, and then you'll also have the in-game audio going as well.
Yeah, if I can find two
2021.
people, if I can find two people who are really good at doing commentary, and we can get a live event going, man, it would be great. Wow, holy cow! No breaks is the call for two blue going into that Snake 50. It looks like there is a trade from Snake to Center X, and
Joe Lewis.
we are down two on the two blue side. It looks like we still have three at least on the animosity side. Take that back. We are at least two on
Kind of
two.
rush this right there.
Yeah, he's a young guy. That I
I
know
was
that's
about to
his
say like that was really reckless.
it's definitely his play style during public play. It just doesn't quite work here in the tournament. Now, Pat, surprisingly, being like 6'3", is in
He's 6'4". He is 6'4".
6'4" in that center X playing low ball. and he can't quite see Josh in that Snake 50 getting taken down, and it looks like Josh might actually run up here and see Ryan if he can. And there goes Ryan. 2 guys up.
That L wall is money.
Oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name, Keegan. In the gray sweatshirt.
Shiloh.
On Animosity. Yeah, Shiloh. I always forget. But
he's a really tall dude.
He's also tall and was playing that L block pretty well too, right? Just that game.
I think in this tournament he was using a Kythera or an N7 pneumatic system, because if you listen to him during the tournament, all you hear is pluck up, pluck up, pluck up, pluck up, pluck up, pluck up, pluck up. Just sounds like a little nail gun. It was kind of funny, but hey, if you can get it done, you can get it done. Doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
Oh, all right, so we are getting into game 2. Animosity taking the first.
I want to take it back to that first match real quick. I noticed that 2 Blue did something different. Pat had changed from being a back wall player to playing that mini block, and Joe went from playing mini block or L to being a back wall player, and that actually kind of worked out in their favor. They stayed alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, especially when you have a new team setup. You got Joe in there in the X. You have to figure out what's going to work for your team. You got back left on 2 Blue going down. And it looks like Animosity still has all 5 of their players. Lewis is peeking out pretty far. He's going to take Joe and up into that L, with Snake going down and at least Ryan going down on the L block on the other side by Lewis. And he's taking the sweep and the flag hang for the win.
I have to correct myself. The first game I said Joe went back wall, but he went Snake 50 because he had that exchange with Lewis. So I had to correct myself on that. But
it's okay. We all get it mixed up from time to time.
Yeah, this is true.
One thing, just watching other people just compete, I wish I had played a little bit more aggressive on X, like the lower covers.
But Marcus, you're so damn tall too. It is hard, and especially
I played lower covers, and I'm actually good at it. It's just hard work.
Yeah. Well, I think a disadvantage for you. I mean, you're used to it because you've played in your kit since you've started. But I think in this type of scenario, like going to those low covers with that big of a kit, and being so tall, it puts you at that slight disadvantage of getting there. It slows you down just a tad. And like you said, it's more work.
But it's honestly not that bad because I have slid in that kit. And I can slide perfectly. I can get to places really quickly. It's just the only problem with that is me being so big and tall.
Yeah. It's like getting there. It's like you're not getting there sneakily. Everybody's seeing you.
No, for real.
Because I could pretty much always just take off 2 mags and then just stuff 2 mags in my pocket, take the check spring off, and just run my paintball jersey, which I have done before. I'm not sure.
That's the Marcus I want to see.
Look. It's coming, 2021. That's the year.
I want to see I want to see Marcus in a Speedsoft style chest rig, shedding the vest.
All right, so we got MWA on our left. Yeah, Pete's out early. Life of Marcus on the right. We got a bump up into this L block from MWA. A good push, and it looks like a trade
Johnny,
from
I believe,
Snake.
down on the L block.
Yes. So we got 3 players down from the MWA side. It looks like the Snake mini block. Now L and back left and back right. This might be all 5. No, there's 1 left in the back left corner. Got Batman moving up into the Snake side. Good bump from Mini Brick. And we at least have TJ in the back right moving up. And it looks like they're going to try and get this sweep. Is there a trade? No, it's just a straight up victory for Life of Marcus. 1-0.
Batman, I'm not gonna lie, was tearing it up from that mini block in some of those games.
Yeah.
Batman is underrated. I'm telling you right now. I didn't even know about him. I played with him like once at replay, but he's underrated, bro. Like, Jalen put me on him.
Look, Marcus, I like the dude too, and he's your teammate, so by all means, hype him up. But at the same time, don't fuel his ego. I've seen his ego on his Instagram, and it's gonna go through the roof if you fuel him. No hate, all love. But I'm just saying, he's got an ego like my brother. Like, you fuel it, it's gonna go up.
That's good. Let's keep it going.
I mean, but if that's what fuels the player, man, by all means, feed him. You know what I mean?
Feed the beast.
Like, there are those Yeah, they're those people you gotta hype up, and the more you hype them up, they do better. Then they're those people you gotta coach and like be hard on them, and they play better.
Did y'all watch that slide from Jalen?
Dang,
I
Johnny just
did.
walking across the field.
Hey,
Hold on,
sometimes
could you
that's how you
just?
got to do it. Got to have that big dick energy.
Yeah,
So,
he really did. He walked from mini block to snake 50.
Johnny, you know what? He should have been playing this from the very beginning of the tournament. He has by far the fastest trigger finger on that team. Thomas coming up as a quick second, but if he's there, he has a better advantage. But it doesn't matter because TJ said, "Fuck your whole life. I'm gonna sweep your team," and they take the second victory in under a minute, I think, which is kind of crazy.
Fast.
It's very, very fast.
Marcus you must have been high. You took off the helmet.
Nah, I was fixing my GoPro. I had GoPro
okay.
issues.
This is.
But I was feeling myself. My whole team was feeling themselves.
I'm not surprised. You guys were having somewhat of a repeat from the last tournament.
You see how long it took me to write my signature? I actually had to write out life
so
Marcus.
I told this man, I was like, just give me your quick John Hancock. And I know the first time you wrote Life of Marcus, and I was like, on this one, just write something. I don't care what you write. And you took your whole time to write Life of Marcus instead of LOM or LM or just say Marcus. It's all good though. It's all good.
I wish we. What are you recording, or are you recording just the YouTube video, or are you recording the Discord? What are you recording?
I'm recording the YouTube video.
Okay.
When I put this into post, I'm just gonna download the MP4 from YouTube and put it in so we can cut sections if we need to. And now that I'm talking about it, I'll probably cut this. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball.
And welcome back to those watching, where he took a quick break because Keegan had to cut some things out.
Oh, you can leave that part in too.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. But yeah, any of you guys out there who are trying to do something similar, I'm using OBS to record both my audio and video, screen capture, the whole 9 yards, and it works great. Quality is pretty good. It helps when you have two wonderful people with decent audio as well. So, thank you. Appreciate it.
I mean, just good old Apple microphone that plugged into your. You can't beat being plugged in.
Just because you said that, I feel like just switching back to my old audio real quick.
Oh, it's gonna sound like T-Pain.
This is TSA versus SINY.
SINY. And
like this.
This is don't ever do that again. This is the one game that Vinny goes into Snake and then he says, "Screw it, I'm never gonna do this again." So we got
because he got picked early.
Yeah, we got at least one down from each side here. Snake going down, Jacob moving up into that SINY L block, and he's gonna wrap around to take their mini brick, and nope, he trades there instead. We got two on the TSA side grabbing the flag, and it looks like they're gonna make a push to go across. And Bert does go on the outside with Carlos coming in through the middle. Ethan picking it up in the end just in case.
Yeah, when I went around that right block, I got the middle guy, but the back wall player picked me off. And I think as he hit me, Carlos was able to see him, Carlos or Bert, and they were able to knock him.
You know, I was kind of surprised. I mean, especially when you're on the outside, you can see much more. But that there wasn't some very aggressive play. At the end of the night, I ended up getting a slide from, close L to the far L and being on the enemy side from the get. But you got to be really kind of balls to the wall to go after it, especially in tournament. Yeah, very low. We got one going down from the SINY side, and it looks like full TSA team is up, and it looks like the mini brick guy might have had some issues with his gun, and we have it fixed back up. It's a pretty safe play right here, and just getting those angles. Mini brick going down on the SINY side. There goes -2 for them. -3 on the Snake, and all 5 still up for TSA. Looks like there's going to be a bump up, and Jacob's going to take the sweep. The rest of the team following up just in case.
Oh my gosh, the whole team.
Flag coming up. So you guys wouldn't have heard it because there's no audio, but I almost guarantee that someone on the TSA team was yelling Boston to signal it's time to go, boys. It's all out. I would love to see play kind of like this from other teams in the area, just to show you're taking the sport a little bit more seriously, and not everybody's willing to do that. But I think this is a sign of things to come, and more intense tournament play in the future for sure.
It's growing for sure. I mean, in Marcus's team, like they kind of full send like we do. They just do it a little bit differently, and that's expected from team to team. But I think our team as a whole, from the conversations we've had on the side, we approach it in a more methodical way per se.
Yep, for sure.
We really get down into the nitty gritty of the strategies that can come out like play calls, which like I know SYG does. Team Union does a lot of the actual core speed QB Speedsoft style players do on the West Coast.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that I'm somewhat envious of, the West Coast, man, they've got good weather. That's really the difference. They've got good weather. They can do this year round.
What? We're indoors. We can do it anyway.
But it's not the same. It's not the same. So like, with the outdoor fields that are there, they can run year round and profit from it, which is going to grow the sport
the
that much more.
Sport.
And that allows those indoor fields to really blossom even more, because more and more players are being introduced in two different genres, outdoor and indoor. We don't really have that on the East Coast, considering one, East Coast is definitely more paintball heavy, even though the weather kind of sucks. I know during the winter seasons, there's a lot of paintball players that are still running, what is it, X-ball or speedball, however you want to call it. And I could not do that. Paintball hurts in the winter. Like those balls get hard. That's for sure.
And some of them don't break, so then you're getting hit a couple more times. And
Yeah.
Granted, as a paintball player, you're like, yes, it didn't break. I'm still in, haha. But
so about like 2 months ago, I actually played paintball for the very first time. Some like random people, and please just keep this in mind when you play with random people that go out there just for work. I mean, like just your work buddies and whatnot. Please teach them gun safety. There was
so
many
sure.
damn
I'm
like,
sure they're
oh my god.
Paintball, from what I've seen over the years, and the couple of times that I have played paintball gun safety seems to be a little bit like, or at least the players that go to them, the gun safety between paintball and airsoft seems to be a little bit worse. Like at airsoft, it does have its moments, but like we don't have that many issues in the couple years that we've been open at Manassas and Rockville that I'm aware of, and the times that I've worked, compared to as in paintball, the numerous occasions that I've gone, there's been at least one kid who fires in the staging area while everyone's masks are off. Thankfully, the barrel cover's on, or pulls the trigger and the gun has a bad sear and just goes.
So like, I just want to cut you off for a second.
Go for it.
You guys would have just saw me throwing my hands in the air. This match is in between Animosity and MWA. MWA actually did not make it for the first game, so they forfeited that first game of the match, and we are currently awaiting their presence for the second game to see if they will show up or not, just to put that out there. And good old Jacob and Jamie are trying to get that CQB Rush banner up on the opposite side, because the camera doesn't want to see that at all.
Look, you said I literally brought you the flag, and so where do you want it? Just anywhere is good.
I did. I didn't care. All right, so we have the first actual game being played in between the two teams, and Thomas said, screw it, I'm going to send it, and gets taken out early on. Still looks like we have the full 5-man for Animosity. There goes one down in the back right corner. Yeah, and you got Lewis bumping up into the center X. Pete said, I'm going to go for it, and does not trade with Lewis, but Lewis gets taken down anyways.
Sebastian full send.
Yeah, a bunch of craziness, and I think he takes 2 players with them,
ends up
And
being a draw, right?
yes,
Yeah.
this is a draw. All 5 from both teams are hit in trades within the last 2 kills. So it's a draw. It's crazy to think you forfeit the first game and then you draw the second one. What's going to happen in the third? No
Not
one
only
knows.
that, they just went full blown balls to the wall. They just said full send, forget
Yeah,
strategy,
yeah.
and ended up with a draw.
Hold up, time out. Is that SpongeBob in the bottom right corner?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Oh
Actually,
my
it's
god.
Doodle Bob to be specific, but Mahoy Manoy.
But I was about to say you could put the your banner like on that wall that we're facing, like at the bottom. You could put it
Yeah.
right there next time. That would be like the perfect spot.
Well, hopefully, the next time we have one at Rockville, the layout will be very different. We actually might have more of a field to play with, but that's all speculation considering that's probably a year from now. So we oh well, didn't see that. Johnny is actually out of bounds at
Actually,
the
out of
moment.
bounds.
Like
Gets out
he
anyway.
ran way out of bounds. We have 2 on their side that went down, and it looks like Animosity still has their full team. Darian taking the center X flag. They're playing way more aggressive in this game, Animosity. I think that that loss really put a fire under them because they are moving fast, and a full sweep 5-man is down. Game is over. 2-1 Animosity.
I know Lewis, and I don't think that draw sat well with him at all. He's probably like, oh no, we're not gonna draw with these kids.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and sometimes it's that loss that you really need in order to get it going. So
All right, TSA's coming up.
Yeah, TSA is going to be going against 2 blue. At least that's what I have on my scorecard. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like they're lining up over there. And this is when Joe decides to go from his helmet into his dye mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of took me for a loop, honestly. I thought he would have ran that helmet the entire tournament.
I'm not gonna lie, this match made me somewhat nervous because those are my homies on the other side, my Virginia homies. So I was like, damn, they know how I play. Maybe they're gonna kind of come gunning for me. They didn't. I mean, Pat definitely did because he played on my side, at least in these matches. But and he's probably one of the ones I was most worried about coming for me because he knows how I play because we play together so often. But I mean, I'll just let y'all watch the match for itself and how it plays out. I'm not going to spoil anything, but that was definitely my mindset at first. I mean, but at the same time, I was like, I'm going to win. I got to shut these guys up. Like, love them to death, but I was like, but I got to win.
So it looks like we're going to be getting... I just want to let you know, this was by far the worst decision I made the entire night, stepping in behind the ref tower and deciding to call the game there because, man, I got railed later in the night. All right, so we got 1 early takedown on 2 blue in the back right corner. There's another one on Snake, 3-4, with the mini brick going down. Now it's 2 on 4. Jacob gonna run it up. They're all going. Guns a-blazing, taking the win. 4-man up on TSA side. That's
Carlos
actually a
casual stroll.
Yeah, it's like ain't nothing gonna bother me, mate. The match right there, actually, that might have been under 30 seconds. I'm gonna have to go back, do an instant replay, and roll. It's a very quick match.
That one was, but this next one wasn't as quick. They definitely bounced back on the side.
So we're coming into the second game. Horn's about to go off. All right, and we got the breakout. We got the standard here. 2 in the back, 3 in the front on both sides. We got the L on 2 blue side just went down. You could just barely see him out of the corner. You got the TSA L block guy. He's playing very close to that bunker, trying to keep his body from being poked out. Mini brick going down on the 2 blue side. And the Snake going down as well. We have another quick run. Snake 50 getting moved up on the TSA side. There should only be 2 bodies left, and they're going to try and go get him. running up the center, gets at least one coming up on the left side, might have gotten the other. Just got to run back to get the flag, and it'll be a game. And there it is.
I'm going to throw in a comment here. I called Boston for this one of our play calls, and Bert actually thought it was the other team trying to ruse him and get him to come out. So he was a little bit delayed on coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I had a no-hit call that I was unaware of because I went into the snake, and Pat apparently hit my dump pouch as it swung out as I was sliding into the bunker. I didn't feel it nor hear it, and no ref saw it. So, but he did tell me, and I apologized afterwards. I was like, my bad. I totally would have called it. Like, if I heard it, I was like, I had no idea that it even hit my dump pouch. So, and after that game, I actually chose to take it off. I was like, yeah, if this is swinging out that wide when I slide into the bunker, I don't want that risk. Bye-bye.
So we are coming up with SINY and Life of Marcus. SINY is going to be on the right of your screen, and Life of Marcus will be on the left.
So I'm actually trying to find a recording right now to see like if I can give a better description of like what I was trying to actually do.
There was one of these games, Marcus, where you came in a little late, and I remember you kind of scrambling to get your gun together or plug your line in, one of the two.
It was probably my GoPro. Was I like sitting in the back with my helmet off or something like that?
Oh, I can't even remember. I just remember you fiddling with something. All right, we got the first game coming.
Oh, Marcus, Jay getting into that snake 50 is crucial. I mean, you can see a lot from there, but he just took the angle wrong, and it looks like he got taken out quick.
And it looks like Marcus got an early take too. So we have 3 on the Marcus side and all 5 currently on the SINY side. This is probably the best breakout start from SINY, and I think that's actually where they're the strongest is the breakout. But they need to work on their middle game. I think they'll be fine if they can get to end game, but their middle game at the moment isn't super strong. But once they figure out how they can make those angles and really talk as a team, I'm sure they'll be a pretty big beast to go against.
Yeah, because they're small, they're young, and they can develop quick.
So you got that snake moving into the 50, middle brick going down, center X coming in, and the snake trying to go in but gets taken. The L block moving up and gets taken. Avery is taking at least 2 on this field and goes down before they can get the last 2. SINY moving up to take the clear. And I think it's a trade at that. No, they take the match. All 5 down for Life of Marcus, leaving 3 bodies up for SINY.
See, that's where communication would have been important for them, because that middle player that was playing X, when the guy came off that back wall and pushed that top snake side, he had no idea that he pushed it, and he actually took out Avery, which left it clear, but he could have pushed it with him or at least grabbed the flag.
Yeah.
And hunkered down, but they didn't talk. They didn't really talk much. But they do kind of have the natural chemistry per se, because they've been playing together for a while as a large group.
So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of these games are going by really quick. They're finishing under 2 minutes almost every single time, if not under a minute at that. I know that the field size plays a large portion of this, but what do you think some of the other contributing factors are to these short games?
I mean, you just said it. Honestly, it's the map.
So
that and I think another one. I mean, the map being the biggest one, but I think with it being difficult to bump from mini brick to that center X, it left a lot of the play away from the flag grabbing and taking those initial points. So it made it more of a team deathmatch, which is what Speedsoft ultimately is anyway. But like, it made it more of a just gung ho firefights rather than go counter points and get your points. It's like, let's just get the elimination and get the win.
I think one thing that we see a big difference with paintball and airsoft is a lot of paintball becomes very defensive very quick. You get to your breakout points and you kind of hunker down and settle into those bunkers and lay down into the other team until someone makes a mistake, and then you can kind of advance. You don't see that a whole lot here. Like you said, it's a lot of run and gun, more aggressive gameplay. I think definitely the size of the field plays a factor into it, but I think the other portion of it is somewhat experience and
Now,
not
what about? Oh, go ahead.
not knowing like, hey, if I can just wait these guys out, we'll be able to trade up at least.
Now, with paintball, is it a lot difficult to aim at longer ranges and whatnot?
Yeah, you have to arc the ball for sure. There's things that you got to worry about in paintball that you don't have to worry about in airsoft, like dropping a ball behind a bunker. That's definitely a thing.
You
And you
can
can get
literally drop the
clipped.
ball over a wall just by sitting behind it. You can get a ball that just sinks right over the wall and hits you, and you
Yeah,
don't even see it coming.
you got to play a lot more careful. That's for sure. Because I mean, with airsoft, those BBs and the hop up unit is the key point. It lets it fly a little bit straighter.
And in paintball, you don't have that. You have just straight barrel length and air pressure.
So it looks like we are going into game 3. Life of Marcus took that first game, and we're gonna see how this last game turns out.
So it's 1-1 right now.
It is currently 1-1. Life of Marcus on the left, SINY on the right, and a barrage of magazines on top of that right mini brick, probably for Marcus. Jay up in that 50 snake spot once again is definitely an essential point. You can see me squirming from getting railed so freaking hard. Dumb decision to stand there, but it's the life of a ref, as you will.
Any snake player going down, but being filled by a back wall player.
Which is a lovely thing to see, is filling those spots. You don't see it all that often this early in the game and these more inexperienced teams. It looks
It is a
like
definite power move, though.
for sure. The one thing
Yeah.
we don't see a whole lot from here, from any of the teams really, is that mini brick. You'll see everyone really just stays from the knee to shoot instead of trying to peek over the top. Now I know you have those center lanes trying to come in, makes it a little bit harder, but I think it's definitely worth the risk. You got all the
It's
cine guys going down.
it's honestly not worth the risk because if you're looking at it from like where I was and me and TJ, we can see right over the brick clearly
Yeah.
because we're aiming at the opposite bricks. So if you try to peek up, you're getting knocked off.
Yep.
That quick.
And not only that,
So
especially with a particular. Sorry, Marcus, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, particularly with taller players like Marcus, TJ, Patrick, who else on your team? Mark, Shiloh on Animosity, taller players above that 6-foot mark with those half walls being shorter than me, and I'm 5'6". I can stand and shoot over it. So with that being said, with those players playing the back wall, usually they can see right over it, man, and that's just a great line of sight. So like, it's a risk, like you said, coming up over the top, but with crossing fire like that, it's too hard. Now, if your team communicates that back wall is a G, like they're gone, they're killed, whatever, if that communication goes up, then yeah, I could definitely see the risk being more of an option to come up over the top rather than play those side lanes.
So, kind of changing topic, going into this last round of the regular round robin for the tournament, we have a pretty dirty lineup coming up. We have MWA versus 2 Blue, and then Life of Marcus versus TSA, which is a rivalry match as well, and then Animosity versus SINY. I think it's especially kind of spicy considering you have 2 brand new teams going against each other in the first half of this round 5, and then you have 2 teams who have history in the last tournament. Life of Marcus is actually the team that took out TSA at New Jersey and put them into 3rd. So I know that there's a little bit of rivalry going on there, and they definitely want to prove something.
Yeah, I don't think, Marcus, I don't think you knew that about us, but like the entire anticipation for our team coming into this tournament, as a consensus. Like we were all trying to keep level-headed about it at the same time, but we all definitely wanted some revenge on like your team where like they knocked us out. We definitely could have taken them. Like we gotta get them in this tournament at least once, whether it's in the finals or before that. And I mean,
look, trust me, this tournament I was here to win. Last tournament I was here to win too as well, but this tournament just meant like I was like, all right, we gotta get first place. I want to get first place. That's what I'm here for. Because last tournament, second place did not sit well with me.
mm-hmm. Oh,
Even though it was like my first
tournament.
It's like,
that's how we felt. It did not sit well with us. I mean, I know Bert particularly. He took that first tournament up in New Jersey. He took it pretty hard. But Bert's hard on himself overall as a person, which I respect. But he took that first third place in Jersey pretty hard.
Hey, no lie, so did I. Shameless plug, if you watch my video. Towards the end when we go against Marcus, I actually yell fuck when I get hit and back center because I was so freaking pissed at TJ for not getting hit by my BBs, goddammit. But
TJ is nasty when it comes to that back.
You know, I said it when I was there. TJ's a big guy, but for some reason you only see 2 inches of his body when he's peeking in that corner. And it's ridiculous.
All right, here we are on the break.
If you ever watch him shoot, like he's always hitting the wall too as well. So he's like borderline, like peeking and not peeking.
Holy cow!
3 down for
immediately. A amazing slide by MWA into that center X, and this is one of the moments where we actually see Pete, kind of grow a pair and move real hard into this, and MWA takes their first win in this series, and my God, it's good. It's good. They played really well. They left with 4 up in that match, which is the best they've performed the entire tournament. If we could have seen this the entire thing, they would have definitely been a team to be reckoned with for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, they did try it with that draw. Remember?
Yeah. They definitely did. I don't know if they just had butterflies, they weren't super confident, or if they just said, screw it, let's just go for it at this point. Whatever that mojo was, they needed it from the get.
Yeah, agreed. It would have been nice to see that level from them because it definitely would have made the tournament a lot more interesting standing-wise.
All right, we are into the second game. You got Pat moving quickly into that Snake 50, and it looks like he's going to take down... No, not quite. Can't get the angle on
he's got the high cap
for MWA.
Is that a pistol?
Yes.
He just got Johnny.
And he got the L block down. There's 2 down for MWA. Looks like the back right side probably came down. Joe filling up the Snake. Center. That X move is beautiful. Going down at Snake 50. You got at least 4 down for MWA, and it looks like they're going to clear up with the sweeps on both sides and the flag hang. It is now 1-1 MWA and 2 blue going to game 3. This is the best playing we've seen all tournament long. People are getting a little bit more comfortable, a lot more comfortable in settling in with their teams, especially with both of these guys being fresh off the boat in terms of playing tournaments. They're probably feeling themselves at this point. Took a while to get there, but they're there.
Players are settling into their roles too, like really coming together where they're comfortable playing and what they're going to play and how they're going to move about the lanes.
It's definitely exciting to see. I like watching Airsoft when it's this kind of competitive play. It's a little reckless, I'll say that, but it's exciting. It's fun to watch, so I'll take it.
Oh, yes.
All right, getting into game 3. Sorry, holy cow.
Fitzy taking out that L block.
Probably got a concussion. Pat going down in the Snake side.
Pete filling the Snake on the top side. Oh, going full send.
He's only taken one with him. He
was he was having trigger issues.
I'm definitely putting this as an instant replay, but he wasn't shooting anything on the run down and got lit up in the back. You got Fitzy on 2 blue, who ran down the side, got taken out by Thomas. It looks like it probably was a trade, and it's at least 2-on-1 or 2-on-2. You got one filling up on the side, coming back with the clear and the clutch flag hang. Last player from 2 blue, clutching the win. Yeah, this is much better. Like I said, the gameplay is super fast. It's almost like watching public play at this point, with how the players are moving and the disregard for getting hit. But sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes it's exactly what you need to do. Just get it out.
Fixing the walls that everybody annihilated.
Yeah, no, really. After watching the full hour and a half or so of this tournament, I don't know how there was a field left, to be honest. So many people running into walls and structures. Thankfully, the people who have put all this stuff together, it's holding up nicely. They must have done something right. So props to them. Christian and Omar did a great job. Cannot ignore the fact that Marcus just skipped from center X to his side. Yes, that will be an instant replay. The man is happy. The man is happy. This is one of the main events of the tournament. I know, as we already spoke about, both TSA and Life of Marcus were looking into this and definitely trying to come out on top. Show who is the top dog in Maryland. Who's it going to be? We got
this
Jay.
is a bad spot for you, Keegan. You get lit.
Oh yeah,
here.
I was getting lit up hard. I got hit in the PP a couple times. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm trying to cover myself up. And I remember at the end of this game, I looked over at Vinny and was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And he apologized afterwards. Rightfully so. Yeah, you got Marcus going down.
Tucked tight in that corner, man. This is a hard angle for Vinny. I actually think he took down Vinny from that angle.
And that.
Oh, yep, he just got him. He just took Vinny and Bert.
You don't see it all that well, but Vinny was laying it into him, which is why he was there. You got the back right player of TSA also going down. 2 left. You got the snake player who's playing amazingly. Jay's doing great. He's taken at least 2 of the 3 players that have gone out and putting pressure at that on the back right corner for TSA. And you see Jacob in that snake 50 for TSA trying to get out that back right, or that back left side rather, and the L block. And it's hard. The angles aren't great. You have to be super low in order to not get picked off from that back left side. Jacob's starting to realize, all right, there's still a guy there in snake 50, and he might be making a move. But
my gun.
Avery's going to take a sweep, but he gets taken
Oh
out.
yeah, Avery didn't check his left.
By Jacob.
Retrade.
And Carlos is also down. 3 men up left, and they go for the flag hang and switch sides. Life of Marcus takes that first game. But man, this is definitely one of the longer matches as well. Long by comparison, but it's good play. You see the angles are really being worked. People are getting bunkered a lot harder, and you can't make that many mistakes. The two teams that have
snake 50.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in stake 50, my gun malfunctioned. It started the hop-up started having issues. So that's why I wasn't able to keep playing, and I wasn't able to hit Avery sooner because I was caught reloading.
It definitely looked like you were fumbling a little bit, for sure.
I was.
Oh, yeah, one thing I want to know, I wish I had shit talked a lot more. I'm serious. Like, we went in there, everybody was so happy to see us and whatnot, and I'm like, bruh, y'all just took me out of the compete mindset. I'm here to make friends.
We played the devil's advocate. We made friends rather than
mortal enemies. Yeah. So we got a decent breakout from both teams. You got 2-3 for TSA losing their L block player. Snakes are going at it pretty hard. So are the mini breaks. You got the back left guy from TSA moving up into the L block and applying a little bit more pressure. This is some high quality airsoft right here, I must say. I'm really enjoying it. Angles really being worked.
It's a battle for sure.
They're definitely trying to claim that title. Up until this point, they don't know it, but they are tied, or pretty close to tying. If TSA takes this win, they give Life of Marcus their first loss, and ties up the record for the both of them.
Who's that on X? I
That's
think I was gunning
Jacob.
for X. Okay, yeah, I was definitely gunning for you, bro. You can see my
Yeah.
flashlight.
Yeah,
So-
you and Avery were both gunning for me. Avery at one point actually hit the flag while it was in my
So
hand,
here we
and
go.
it almost
And
resulted in a hit.
this is what's so crazy. The blocks are so
What?
tall that Jacob actually can't see the Life of Marcus X player coming up and completely misses him, but he takes the snake down as a trade. You can see Batman moving up into the side portion of the X, doesn't know that there's someone in the snake, and he's about to get hit. Actually, in this play, the TSA player in Snake had his high kappa in safety and no shots were being taken off. There wasn't a no-hit call or anything like that.
Oh.
He literally wasn't shooting. Right now it's
Carlos
one-on-one.
tiptoeing.
Carlos versus Marcus. Marcus is looking towards the inside. You can't see it, but
Ah,
Carlos
yeah,
clutches
yeah.
it,
Oh yeah.
tags him in the back, and picks up the win.
I was like standing there like a deer.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Like,
Marcus,
I was-
you
man.
must have felt some type of way after this.
I definitely did.
So
I mean,
I-
watching Carlos just tiptoe, he literally like tiptoed up to you. It was
I'm
just
like, I didn't hear him. I didn't
yeah,
sense him. I
it
didn't
wasn't
feel
audible at
anything.
all. We are tied 1-1 TSA versus Life of Marcus. Life of Marcus will be on the left of your screen, TSA on the right as we get into the third match. The deciding factor between the two, the finale to the rivalry known as CQB Rush Tournament Series. But it's wild. It's great. I love it.
the
Fucking blow
longest
the horn.
matches by far.
Yeah, for sure. And once again, Jay moving up into that Snake 50, a classic play, seems to be the staple for them, but he's being bunkered by the L block player. It looks like Life of Marcus L block is trying to put some pressure onto that mini brick as he lays fire down. You got Jacob in Snake 50 taking out the L block player, and he's trying to peek a little bit harder, not getting clipped by the backside. Mini brick goes down. Marcus goes down. You have at least 3 players on the TSA side, 2 players on Life of Marcus. Things are getting heated. What's going to happen? They're peeking. Snake 50 jumps out and goes for the trade. Probably the scariest moment. We'll come back to that at the end. But you have one on the L block and one more on the backside for TSA. And there's only
we have
in the back left.
Yeah,
TJ's in the back left and there's one on the far. Oh damn! How are we calling
the
it?
back left?
Far
Back
right?
left.
Alright, so both of them.
On the left side, bottom left corner is where TJ is. Ethan's trying to move up from back right or top right to Snake and wrap around. He gets the kill. Carlos moves up. Vroom, vroom, big boy. I'm coming through. Grabs the flag, hangs it for win number 2. TSA beats Life of Marcus and ties it up all at the same time. This, this is some good stuff. I'm repeating myself over and over again, but this was the most fun round to watch in between 2 players, and this whole
really
5th
was.
round was really good. But this was definitely the highlight.
I want to side note one thing too about both those teams. Like, regardless of our rivalry, our sportsmanship was uncanny. Like, you notice right at the end of the game, Marcus came up, said "good game" to me, and vice versa. And then Avery
dapped up everybody.
Yeah,
Avery came over, was congratulating me on that dive kill that we said we were going to come back to against Jay. He was so ashamed that happened. I felt bad for him, but at the same time, I loved that play.
Speaking of, again, I know you don't have audio, but when he dove to take out the Life of Marcus 50 J player, okay, when the Snake 50s traded, Jacob dove, and there is this very loud knocking sound, and I could have sworn, standing up there, that Jacob just died, and he smacked his head against the concrete, but it was just his tank, and it's the only time I thought I would have to call 911. Honest to God.
Welcome. You're welcome. That's all I have to say.
Last game.
I made it interesting.
For sure. This is like, you tell somebody, make it interesting, you made it fucking interesting. Turning it into a show, you turned it into a show.
I mean, not only did I get that diving one, I had an army crawl. There was, yeah.
So we are going to lose. We got about 10 minutes left. But this is the last round, and then we are going to have
SINY
to
versus
take
Animosity.
we're going to take a quick break after this match and kind of zoom into the final 3 matches of the night. You got Lewis taking out 1. He's going to wrap around on that L side and sweep up. He's gotten at least 2 or 3 on this sweep and then trades out. You got Darian moving up into the center X. Just kidding. It's a full sweep. Darian grabs the flag and hangs it. I don't know if Lewis was out at this point. He was kind of just moping around on the field. But if he was in, he was in. If he was out, he was out. Either way, it didn't really matter. All 5 players were taken. Going into game 2, yeah, Lewis actually probably was out. I have it on the scorecard that SINY got at least 1. Now, SINY has to pull through. We all know how this ends. But in order for the final series to happen, there's a 3-way tie, and that would have been avoided if SINY could have clutched this and beat Animosity, because it would have been Animosity's second loss and not first. Getting into game 2, decent breakout. No one getting knocked off in the beginning. A interesting double stack on the mini brick for the Animosity side, losing Darian early. And we have 4 on 5. SINY still has all 5. Swapping sides, Lewis on that mini brick. SINY moving up to grab that center flag, trying to get those
beautiful
points.
Transition.
Exactly. It was the perfect moment. Unfortunately, they lost their back right player, and it is now, I want to say, 3 on 4. And he takes down. It was a good push. If he had just waited half a second, he would have been better. Doesn't realize he still have the flag. That Snake player is obviously pissed off at himself for going down. That's why he runs away. If he had kind of bunkered down a little bit more, he would have been safer and probably would have clutched out this win if he had kept it. We got 2 players on the Animosity side, on Snake and L, and then 1 in the back. I'm not quite sure which side he's on. And we have 2 players for SINY, I believe, on the back side, maybe just 1, trying to hold it together and stay alive as long as he can. There's trying to move up now. That might have been the final kill. Not quite sure. You can see a light flashing, some shooting going on. Josh coming up around the corner to sweep, takes the final kill, trying to find the flag and hang it for the win. The match is over. A 3-way tie between Animosity, Life of Marcus, and TSA. A very odd way to end a tournament, but it's the way it happened. We're going to take a quick break, some water, bathroom. Feel free to join us, and we'll come back for the first match of the championship series, which is TSA versus TSA versus Animosity. So we're going to get into this final couple games, and it picks up right in the middle. The stream kind of cut out and got turned back on late. This is the first game of the championship series in between 3 teams.
Before you hit play, I want to narrate what happened for me because I know what happened for me. As you can see, I'm at the top of the screen standing out of bounds. Off rip, right off the breakout, I went wide, slid into that bunker. As I talked about this earlier, if you hit that bunker just right, it moves and it creates a sight line from that mini block right into Snake.
Yep.
And so when I move that block, as you can see, it's clearly angled. It is no longer perpendicular. I actually created that sight line, and Lewis was able to just beam me through this small little window that I couldn't see, that I also had to worry about him hitting me and the Snake player also hitting me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it made it really tough, and I got out early, and then the rest of the game plays out as you guys will see.
Right, so we are coming into this game, TSA versus Animosity. TSA is down 1, as Jacob just explained, and we are going to pick it up from there.
So you got Josh in the Snake, Lewis on the mini block, Darian in the X, Lewis going down.
Carlos going down for TSA. Darian going for the... he can't quite get that sweep. He has the flag. He doesn't quite know it. Dropping it. No harm, no foul. It's all practice. First tournament. Not going to put any blame on him.
No.
We have what looks to be 3-on-3 at the moment. Make that 2-on-3 with the mini brick for TSA going down. You have back left and the L block. L block looking the wrong way and gets clipped by the snake player as he wraps, taking that W with 2 players up on Animosity's side, going for the flag hang, and it's all gravy. Going into game 2, things have got to change if TSA wants to stay in this, but as we'll soon see, things could or could not happen. Just kidding. That was actually game 2 and not game 1. I could be very wrong because it looks like everybody's running off the field. So in that first game, and it was a 2-game sweep. Animosity won the first and the second game, knocking TSA out. And we go into the last game for Life of Marcus versus Animosity. A game of 5, a battle between the gods, between the 2 best in this tournament as of right now, and it's gonna be good. Marcus, how did you feel going into this last match? You get some
especially
nerves?
with that bye.
Yeah. Or do you feel good being rested?
Yeah. Definitely felt good being rested. We had while the last team was playing, we was pretty much just sitting down talking to each other, watching the film. I mean, watching them play and just going over strategy and whatnot. But our guys was good. We didn't really change too much. We just kept it the same. Why change if it was working? You feel me?
Yeah. What kind of strategy were you guys talking? I mean, I'm not asking for trade secrets or anything, but there must have been something that you were like, this has got to be a thing, guys. Let's pull it through.
I was kind of focusing on me, not to try to get picked off early on, like I kept on doing. So I believe me and TJ actually swapped places. So normally I play left side, he plays right, and we just swapped. So I went right, he went left. And then I can't remember exactly what he was spitting game to me. As you can see on the camera, he's spitting game.
Yeah.
He's telling, freak. I forgot what he was saying. I have a bad memory.
I know what TJ was telling you because I had talked to him about this prior to, as well. I said, if Jay can get, I had told him if Jay can get to the snake 50 like you guys have been doing, it's deadly. But if you let the other team get to that snake 50, it's going to be equally as deadly for them because it's going to pick Avery. So if you can keep that snake player from getting there, you guys will be golden. And I'm pretty sure that's what he was relaying to the rest of you guys.
That's exactly what he was saying. Yeah, he was definitely saying that.
I only know that because I had that conversation with him prior to.
I totally forgot I did that. I took a mag from Avery and started to pretend like I was playing and then did a reload. And Avery's just laughing at my stupidity.
All right, so you got me and Pat up there on the wall. We're going to be actually helping ref this game, watching the snake players on each side.
Honestly, TJ should take the spot for me. Like, why am I the leader of this team?
Because your YouTube name and you put it together.
No, I didn't see. That's the thing. I meant to change my YouTube name from being the name.
Yeah.
We couldn't come up with a name in time, and he just kind of left the Lifeless Market. I'm like, all right, damn. I guess we rolling with that. And now it's official. This is the second tournament. It's staying.
There you go.
Speaking of
TJ's
official,
definitely the head guy.
Speaking of official, pretty soon I've tallied up all the points and whatnot, and I'm gonna be posting the leaderboards for the 2021 season, how it's gonna start off. Marcus, or I should say, Animosity is gonna be the number 1 seed going into the 2021 season. So in that season opener, if they decide to join up again, they will get the number 1 seed. Life of Marcus and TSA will be in the, well, I kind of don't want to spoil it, but now you know. Life of Marcus and TSA will be tied, or actually Life of Marcus will be in the 2 seed since they had more points overall from the tournament, and TSA will be in the 3rd seed. We'll continue to hash that out as more tournaments get played in, and it'll play a bigger factor once we have the championship for next year. But enough of that. Let's get focused on the present. The final championship match is about to get started. Life of Marcus will be on the right side of your screen, and Animosity will be on the left side.
And we do have more refs this match, like I said before. You have me and Patrick both watching the snake players from above, and then, right up there on the top of the screen. Keegan watching that backside. Jamie on the other side.
Yep, the opposite corner. And yeah, it.
Oh yeah, you was watching me like a hawk. I appreciate that.
It wasn't just you. Like I definitely take this more seriously than a lot of the other refs do. But look at that stance. Your boy's trying to get it.
Like, I was looking at you.
Let's get more focused here, gentlemen. No, so let's see. We have Jay holding down that L block as Darian moves up. TJ going down, unfortunately, in that top right corner. And it looks like we have 4 and 4 on both sides with that top left corner. Shiloh
Darian
going
is a
down.
Small target for Jay to hit. But
I think he clips his backpack or his side. But they get the points for that flag grab. Lewis with a really fast blade trigger. He's going to be able to lay down some really heavy fire on Jay. He's peeking out super far, trying to clip him if he can, but gets hit instead.
Ooh,
Jay also gets hit. I don't know if he trades there or if he gets hit from the snake side. We have 2-on-2 at the very least, and it is getting good. Now, what we have to figure out is if the center brick knows that there's still someone in snake or not. I think they're about to find out as they peek around.
Yep, they just had a little engagement there, it looked like. Or at least he knows that the BBs are coming at him from somewhere on that side.
And, Marcus, you said this earlier. Batman is definitely underrated. Homie is switching sides, laying down fire, and putting pressure on the entire field. Both the back left corner, snake, and back right. Like, that is
people was definitely making fun of him, too, because of his costume.
But, hey, sometimes it doesn't matter if you're the actual hero of the event. You are the hero. But there goes a solid trade in between Brick and Snake, taking down one more from each side. And I think we're coming up on a 1v1. We got
with
Christian and Marcus, unless Marcus is down already.
I think I'm already down.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the easy pickup for Christian, just doing a safety sweep and hanging the flag.
Now, for Josh being the snake, laying down like he was, looking on that inside angle, that is a by far risky move because you don't have much movement to get out of that position when fire is coming your way, other than just a quick little side peek in and out.
Yep.
But it proved efficient for him. He did it throughout the entire tournament. If you really watched him, there were times he'd take that inside corner laying back like that. And it proved. He got a trade out of it with Batman, but it proved efficient. As hard as it is to actually execute.
Yeah, I think the only downside from that is, well, the two, like you said, you don't have that mobility, but then on top of it, you can't look that great down the outside lane without getting totally pegged. A beautiful slide. Big compliments to the chef. Jay sliding into that snake 50 for Life of Marcus. Double stack on that mini break. It kind of looks like Lewis's teabagging Darian. It is what it is. I just said it. You got Batman leaning back, trying to take one from the Animosity playbook, but he hasn't grabbed that flag yet. Most people forget that's still worth 25 points to that team if they can get that flag first. You got Lewis coming in.
Grab it?
Yes, just to grab it is 25
getting
points.
Eliminated by that snake player.
Yeah, a very slow transition. If he was a little bit quicker, he could have made it. You got Avery trying to look outside. He takes the mini brick, and Marcus is down on that top left.
Snake goes down with the trade, Batman.
Yep, and we got at least 2-on-2 here. We got Avery and TJ on the Life of Marcus side, and it looks like what'll be Christian. He might be alone on this one for Animosity. It's just a matter of how do we get there without getting pegged. There goes Christian down. That might be all 5 players as far as I know.
TJ's still in, actually.
Oh, there you go. The last player from Animosity who was on that
you
block,
could
couldn't
see
see him.
TJ's neck, so he was still in.
Yeah, He's definitely still in, laying that fire. Avery going for the clean sweep, and followed by TJ for the victory. It is now 1-1, boys. Animosity 1, Life of Marcus 1, heading into the third round.
Getting good for this final round.
Nah, we still got a couple more games.
Oh, that's right. We got 2 more. It's best of 5. Yep.
You know, for these last couple matches, I actually don't have scorecards for them because it wasn't prepped. I did just write that you guys got the wins for them. You guys got credit for that. But good Lord, man, this is definitely fun to watch, and it's
But it's
nice.
like it's like you said. A lot of the teams weren't playing the flag. Like if you noticed, it wasn't till the end that they grabbed it. Nobody went for that flag grab.
It's just I just didn't know, honestly, or I would have said that to my team. If we got there, we could have got the flag on most of those.
For sure.
Rounds. And we just didn't know. I didn't know that. Actually, I was like, all right, I'm not worry about flagging until everybody's eliminated.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is also why it's very important to listen during the briefing. I'm not trying to bash anyone, but I'm just saying.
Hey, I don't
I'm just
one
kidding.
thing you know about me. Ask Avery. I don't listen to directions. I ask during the game.
We got one down for Life of Marcus and the Snake. You got Batman moving up to the center X. He's peeking out kind of far, kind of dangerous. He's looking over at that Snake side. He's going to peek a little bit too hard. He's going to get caught if he's not too careful. There it is. He gets tagged. And the
Darian going down right after, trying to make a risky move.
And that back right for Animosity also goes down. He's hanging out there with me looking like I'm a fucking fun-sized person because I am. But we have at least Marcus, and I think that's Avery on the L block. Yes, he's moving into center X, and the Snake has no idea. I know the communication isn't there, but you have Lewis moving up into the L block. Avery is going to try to sneak in, gets tagged by the Snake, and is gone. We have at least one player on Life of Marcus side, 2 for Animosity, and we'll have to see. He's moving up. Check, safe, tagged 1. Just kidding. It wasn't 2, it was 3. TJ tries to come in for the sweep to make it a little bit safer. It's not going to happen. Christian's going to take the flag and hang it.
And I do want to mention that Avery and Batman was saying that TJ and I is pretty much the eyes of the field. We can see everything.
For sure.
And without us, they're just hopeless. And you see it on a lot of those plays too. Like if you're playing Snake or you're playing X, you can't see what's above you because you don't want to peek up.
Yeah. Communication is definitely crucial.
One thing from being a Snake player that I have learned that I'll share a little insight on is when I'm in the Snake, right? If my team is loud and I hear them, I know they're alive. They're giving me direction. They're letting me know who's down, who's there. But the minute that goes quiet, for me, it's safe to assume that they're dead. So I'm switching up the angle. I'm watching my back. I know people are coming or moving because there's no more communication.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big reason.
This is going into game 4.
No, did you just see him just
bolt across?
Pete.
Man's crazy. All right, classic move once again. Bread and butter for Life of Marcus, taking that Snake 50. Darian looking over the top and middle brick for Animosity. Double stack seems to be their bread and butter, and it's pretty solid. It's a great breakout. No one's gone down early, at least that we can see from the playable field. There they go, lose Avery. You just jinxed it. I'm sorry. We got 4 on 5 at the moment, and a beautiful bump. Once again, this man is a god. I don't know how he just transitions so smoothly into the X, but he does. Once again, doesn't quite take the flag. As Marcus explained, they didn't quite understand that. It was 25 points right there. But that's okay.
All right, bro, you don't got to raise your voice.
Jay going down.
Get it. I learned.
Jay and Darian going down, 1 from each side. It takes it to at least 3-3. And Josh doesn't know that there's someone still on that Snake side. He gets tagged. It's not a trade, but just a simple tag. TJ goes out from that back left corner, and a duel is about to happen in between center X and mini brick.
No, I'm still in.
Yep, Marcus is still in. So it's 2-on-1. It's a 2-on-1 situation.
Definitely 2-on-1.
You got Christian and Lewis versus Marcus.
See, you can't see what's going on.
They can't. They have no idea. Unfortunately for Christian, he bumped up too early. He should have stayed so that way he could at least give a little bit more direction for Lewis. But again, first tournament, you're not going to know that sort of thing if you don't hash it out. Lewis is just laying it down into Marcus to make
Yeah, I
sure
got
there's no
picked
one
off
there.
on the left. Yeah.
And that's it. That is the
Well, they did
final
have
game.
3. It was 3-on-1. They had Shiloh left, I believe, unless he was out off to the side and just came onto the field.
No, Shiloh's out. But yeah, that is it. Animosity takes the dub and is the champion for this series.
Congrats to them.
Very, very big congratulations. I am very proud of everyone that came out. Before we go any further, I want to put a lot of special thanks out to Tactical Airsoft Arena in particular. My homie Chris, who was willing to work with us and really, let us do our thing. Before this, we had to take down a bunch of walls and put them all back in order to execute this, but I am very grateful. I want to say thank you to the boys from SINY driving all the way out from I almost said New Jersey, but from New York. Everyone that attended the event, and
big thank you.
Yeah, very, very grateful. We're going to let this continue to play on. There's a couple of fun matches that end up continuing, I believe, and we're just going to chat for a bit. If you want to stick around, by all means, please do. If you want to hear us ramble about God knows what, I'm sure it'll be exciting just as much, and stick around. Good God.
Oh, yeah.
Yet, the end of this, I was giddy for 2 reasons. One, it was over and I knew I was going to play. But 2, it was really exciting to see a higher level of gameplay. And
I think it. Go ahead.
I was just saying, it's getting my giblies in a bunch. You know what I mean? Crazy.
I mean, as for our team speaking, it was we have our good chemistry, but you're definitely a playmaking piece for us per se because you're a big communicator. And for us, we have you, Vinny, and Carlos and Bert are all very good communicators, whereas me and Ethan aren't. So Ethan having to drop into a communication role was a big difference and change for us. He did very well, but it's a different vibe when certain players are on the field and when certain ones aren't. And it was tricky for us to get a lot of those to click right. I mean, we came to compete and we came to win, but it was also kind of like a let's see what we can do differently tournament for us, which I know you had spoke on with us. And go ahead, Marcus.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was definitely me. Keep going.
Oh, my bad.
Wait.
I just heard somebody start, so I figured it might have been. But no, it was a fun time all around. But we were definitely hurt that we weren't in the top 2, but that's okay. I mean,
it's not okay. But okay.
No,
I'm shit talking already.
I didn't really speak on this earlier. I am, I guess, technically the team captain for TSA, and I run these tournaments. So, yeah, I started the team. I guess I'm captain. I don't have to be. Either way, regardless, getting off topic here, I didn't think it was appropriate for me to be playing in the tournament, also hosting it. So we had Ethan. Say what?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
There isn't, but there is. So if you get players who, per se, like something doesn't go their way and they think they should have or whatever against the host team, and Keegan's playing it and it's running it, then it looks like he's being unbiased to his team or whatever. You know what I mean? Just kind of like on a public play day, right? Like if I ref and work at TAA. Now, if I come up to Rockville and I do something kind of edgy or stupid, but they were to kind of go, oh, no, he's cool, he's playing within the rules, somebody might go, wow, they're just covering for him because he's an employee there.
Exactly.
Same kind of concept, but in the tournament.
But to get back to the point I was making was going into this tournament, the entire team knew, 1, that things were going to be different, and 2, we were going to change our entire lineup and the positions we were going to play, be very experimental. So for us, although we wanted to win, we knew our objective was really to figure out what the hell we wanted to play moving forward in as a team and kind kind of figure that role out. So it was a pleasant surprise. English is hard. That we came in a technical tie for third in terms of placement, but it would have been much nicer if we came in first. It really ate me up on the inside watching the team play and not being able to yell out certain things. But yeah.
Personally, I felt like we should have like did a game for second place instead of just leaving it like as we did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just my take on it.
We could have. I didn't see the real need for it with it being a practice tournament. It was like all we really need is a first place. A lot of even professional level sports won't actually have a game for that second place, unless it's like a prize that's going out. You'll see in like the Olympics, for example, you'll see some. It'll go first, third, because the next two teams had the same record or score, so they just tie. All they really care about is that gold medal. But moving into a regular season and officially sanctioned tournaments, points will be
That's what's
recorded.
Coming up for 2021, correct?
Yes, at least that's the plan. For those of you that didn't know, this 2020 season was supposed to be pretty big and doing 4 tournaments, 3 regular season, 1 championship. But with COVID, we weren't really allowed to do that. Everything kind of got pushed back. And even then, the 2 practice tournaments in New Jersey and then Rockville weren't originally planned. They just kind of happened by chance. We got lucky to squeeze them in right before things went a little bit more south. But for next year, yes, there's going to be a lot of changes. Not only a 4 tournament season, but a new genre of tournaments coming to the area as well. I'm working on some 1v1 stuff and get that kicked off, which I'm really excited about. But
that's exciting because anyone can compete in that, not just a team.
For sure. It definitely opens things up to pretty much anyone. You don't have to be friends with anyone. You can just kind of come play by yourself. But what I'm trying to do, along with a couple other people I'm working with, is to get a leaderboard set up and have not just a champion of Maryland, but an East Coast champion. The series is definitely going to follow the 5-on-5 tournament series in the different states, and hopefully we can get the tournament out that we anticipate and have an East Coast or Mid-Atlantic champion that we can carry on into the next year. There's a lot more that will probably happen with that, but I don't want to speak too soon on it because there's a lot that needs to happen in order for that to be an actual thing. But yeah, once the original point we had started probably 10 minutes ago, I've been rambling, was once we have an official sanctioned
You said that
event,
was going to happen.
was points will be taken into account for the entire tournament. So even if there is a 3-way tie, whoever has the most point going in or after that last round, if it's round robin, that is, will be the champion. I don't really anticipate doing round robin anymore or for the next season, considering there's a little bit more attention coming to the CQB Rush scene. We had 6 teams for this tournament, but it was limited to 6 teams, and we still had another 2 that were interested in playing, and they just couldn't meet the registration in time. But yeah, a lot of double elimination standard tournaments will be coming our way, and you'll have no choice but to show out or else you're going to be done. So any of you guys who are interested in playing next year, by all means, hit me up or go to the website, www.cqb-rush.com. Hit me on the contact us page and ask away any questions you might have. Another shameless plug. Starting to do player spotlights. Going to start doing that once a month. You can also submit those onto the website. I'm going to plug both Jacob and Marcus, give you guys
Yeah.
a minute or two to kind of talk about yourselves, your channels, and where you can be found.
I'll let Marcus go first. He's bigger than me. Go ahead.
No, don't do that. Please, 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 please. I remember when I first started YouTube, my closest friends was like, yo, once you become big, you're going to forget about us. And I'm like, no, can you not put that in my head? Now that's all I think about.
Right.
But
forget about us little people.
Yeah, go ahead though.
I'm like, I'm here to help everybody.
Nah, I feel that. That's yeah.
But then
That's the
again,
best way to be.
I don't want to put in all this hard work and just give you a free shout out and then you get like hundreds of thousands and I'm like, I had to grind for this.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yep.
Like that's like
No, I know exactly what you mean, Marcus. Because like when I was growing, like on TikTok back when it was Musical.ly, like, I was growing like right in the transition period, right? And when I was getting bigger, I had people like I was making money from my live streams, like a couple hundreds of dollars at times. And people were like, "Yo, can you shout me out? Can you blah blah blah?" And like I wasn't like money chasing like some of the people were like, "Oh, you send me this and you can get a shout out," but I was like, "No, I don't just do shout outs." So like because like I'm not trying to have people just mooch or just buy fans or friends or whatever. I was like, you just gotta work like I did. I was like, and it's really not that hard. You gotta put in the effort if it's something you really want. If you're just getting it and it's handed to you, you don't really want it.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of learned that over the how long I've been using YouTube, like 8 months now, 9 months, something like that. But throughout my whole journey, it was just like trying to grind for more followers and whatnot. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about people. I learned what to ask for and what not to ask for. And it's one of those things like if you ask me for a shout out, it's like, okay, first of all, what did you do for me? Not necessarily what did you do for me, but okay, how have you helped me in any way for me to help you?
Yeah. See, and me as a person in YouTubing and things like that, I will never ask for a shout out. Like I'm gonna be like, yo, can you shout me out? I'll be like, yo, do you want to do collaboration? Can we do a video together? Or can like I help you in some way make this type of video? Or like one of my first things, like when I first met Joe, right? I didn't ask him for a shout out on YouTube, but I said, yo, can we play on the same team? Because I knew he was coming. And this was at the actual first Airsofting with Friends event that was held at Manassas by RGK and Joe. They both hosted it. And I was like, yo, I got some footage. I don't have the editing tools. Would you be willing to do the edit? But like we make a kind of a collaboration video showing two different viewpoints during the same game, right? Like bouncing back and forth throughout the timeline of the game. And he's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And like he did it and it turned out really, really good. And then I asked him for his footage so that I in turn can make my version of it. So it wasn't just all his editing and his clout. Like I made my own so that it was my own work, but using the same footage per se.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, if you ever have a chance to just look at my Instagram or YouTube, if it introduces somebody, I have no problem with shouting y'all out. I have no problem giving links or whatever. Like I'm just that type of dude. And I'm like, okay, if you help, like one of the things that I feel bad about when I post something, we kind of had a discussion, Keegan, about this when you was like, okay, don't say this instead because it introduces that other company, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm talking kind of vaguely because I don't want to
Yes.
say names.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's like one of those things is like, okay, damn, I'm becoming bigger and this actually matters. Let me actually do proper tags now. And say the right things.
Well, now like that goes like for me and Keegan and I, like our team is now sponsored. Like our competition team is sponsored. We're sponsored by Speedsoft official from Spain, which is a big like competitor of SpeedQB. So it makes it hard to get noticed by them. But like at the same time, it's
Yo,
like
I got
cool.
them to follow me actually.
Yeah, they're
nice.
cool.
About that.
They're which
cool
one?
People.
SpeedQB or Speedsoft? Which one?
SpeedQB. I think.
Yeah.
Wait, let me check real quick.
They follow. They both follow me, but like Speedsoft official. Like, and I'm not just talking out my ass because they're our sponsor. Like, I truly mean this. These cool people. Like, you hit him up, they'll talk to you. He answers. His English is a little broken, given that he's from Spain, but super awesome dude. Definitely no issues with him thus far.
Yo, you know how hyped I was to get Damo to follow me?
Yeah.
I saw that fucking post too.
I was so fucking hyped because that's one of my idols too. Like when I was doing YouTube, I was like, yo, I'm trying to be like this man.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I'm not trying to copy all his moves, and that's why I gave him praise in one of my posts. I was like, yo, this is what you have to do in order to grow on YouTube.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I saw that post.
It's one of those things too. Is like, yo, it's so hard to grow on YouTube when you're trying to do airsoft content.
It is. It's very.
I have
even like. Go ahead, Marcus.
No, I was about to say I have like maybe like 40 videos that I can just throw up right now, but I'm taking my time with it because it's not popping as much as I want to.
Right. Timing is definitely key in anything social media related, and people don't realize it. But at the same time, it's like content. Like Gary Vee, if you guys follow him or watch him at all, I don't know if you guys do.
Nope.
Love the dude, super motivational. Definitely go give him a look and hear out some of his thought processes on things. But he's an entrepreneur, and he's a go-getter, and like he understands the social media realm very, very well. So definitely go take him a look, Marcus, if you're trying to grow your social media. He just kind of touches points on it. So it's Gary V. So GaryVee. But anyway, I'm going to go back to what Keegan originally asked us to do, introduce ourselves, talk about who we are, whatnot, as far as YouTube goes. My name is Jacob. My Instagram handle is JacobH_Airsoft, where I have two teams, my competition team, Tru Starz Airsoft, which is who I competed with in this tournament. Then I have my recreational team, which is made of family and friends, team designated drinkers. We wear pink. You primarily see us at Manassas and Rockville, and I play and post in that stuff all the time, mostly on my Instagram. A little more Tru Starz stuff here and there now that we're getting rolling with that, but that's me. I do also have a YouTube channel, which is Team Designated Drinkers, because I started the YouTube channel for that team, but when COVID hit and everything, we all kind of dropped and stopped playing, except for me. And so that's why my YouTube now has both Tru Starz and Designated Drinkers. But I'm not big. I just post stuff for fun. If I grow, I grow. If not, it's cool. It's whatever. I just do it just for the pure satisfaction of I like editing. I like seeing how it turns out, and if people appreciate it, great.
Marcus, do you actually want to say your tags?
Not that we haven't dropped it 10 times.
I was about to say,
yeah,
even if you don't, I'll say it again.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Marcus. I have a YouTube channel called Life of Marcus. Instagram tag is Life of Marcus __. Just follow me on my social media accounts for more content, more airsoft related content. But I also am getting into more of the car world, gaming world, and stuff like that. That's it.
I guess. Well, if you're here, you already know who I am, or at least I would hope so. If you don't, my name's Keegan. CQB Rush is my tournament series, and basically made out of Maryland. If you ever want to have a tournament to your area, just hit me up. I would be more than happy to drive out to wherever you are. I've gone as far as Georgia, down south, gone as far north currently as New Jersey. I do have plans to kind of expand. I've been asked to go out to out towards Boston and to Rhode Island. I know I just did.
To me, spicy.
Yeah,
I'm getting all the deets right now. I'm like a little rat collecting crumbs and drop them. I'm right here.
But yeah, I'm willing to travel all around and see what it's all about. I'm very big about building the community and kind of growing the competitive scene as a whole. This is my YouTube channel. What's up? Anything CQB.rush, you'll find me there. If you want any merch, shameless plug, CQB-rush.com. Go to shop. I got a couple of different decals that you can get for your mask, along with high kappa parts, mainly for 0.3, since no one else really cares about them. I do. Get all your stuff and things, and yeah, things to keep an eye out for coming up into the future. We're like 2 hours into this stupid video, almost 3.
We're more.
Yeah.
But the diehard fans will actually appreciate this video.
The ones that are still here, if there are any of you, things to come in the future. We had kind of touched base on it earlier on about doing a podcast. It's something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, and you will most likely be hearing from these two individuals, Marcus and Jacob, joining me as co-host for whatever the hell we decide to call it. And yeah, thank you for joining us again. CQB Rush Practice Tournament, Rockville, Maryland, at Tactical Airsoft Arena. Get it, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Adios.
Later.